First and foremost, I want to thank the Dean of the African Ambassadors, Ambassador Beene Rusom of Eritrea, for having mobilized all African ambassadors in Kenya and their friends to make sure they do celebrate with us this International Labour Day. That has humbled me as a spokesperson of the African workers on this continent of Africa. Having said that, I want to recognize those people who are close to workers' hearts, that they are here, starting with Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Niliwaambia katika mkutano wa tarehe 21 ya kwamba yeye ndiye alikuwa wa kwanza kukubali mwaliko wa wafanyikazi kuwa nanyi siku ya leo. Pia nataka kumtambua waziri wetu. I want to recognize our Honorable Minister or Cabinet Secretary for Labor and Social Protection, Ambassador Ukuri Yatan, who is here. Mnaona mkubwa hayuko, na mimi najua yeye amewabebea mazuri. I want also to recognize our hard-working sister, who is also the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Gender and Youth, Professor Margaret Kobia. I want also to recognize the fighter and the man, for sometimes he has been fighting for social justice, and a very distinguished lawyer before he became a politician. He's the Cabinet Secretary of the East African Community, Honorable Peter Munya, former governor as well. I want also to thank our own governor and recognize him. Governor wetu wa Nairobi ambaye ametukaribisha hapa, His Excellency Mike Sonko. Pia na ndugu yake, pia governor wetu kutoka Busia, Governor Sospita Ojamong. Governors hao wawili mimi nawatambua sana, lakini magovernors wengine hawatambui wafanyikazi. Even when they are having their own conference, they don't invite us. If they did, they do it in handwritten letter without slotting a position for a person who articulates issues that concern workers to make a statement. Washanzi sana. I want also to recognize NASA co-principal, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, who is here with us. I'm humbled, Honorable Musalia, to be with us here, Mudavadi. And I can remember him for one thing. One day he told me, ukiwa unataka kujua pahali mwizi yuko na amechukua ng'ombe yako, fuata miguu ya ng'ombe. Pahali itapotelea hapo ndio nyumba ya wezi wako. I will not forget that. I want also to recognize kijana wangu na kuwashukuru. Nilipowauliza mwaka jana mpatie kura, you did it. This is no other person other than Senator Johnson Sakaja. I want to thank you for that. Na kijana wangu utumikia hawa na roho moja, usupport hawa, devote yourself 100% to them. These are good workers. They will re-elect you and give you a higher position. I want also to thank you very much. Mulitupatia, a hard-working sister of ours. She's a very industrialist. Na yeye anapenda nyinyi kama wafanyikazi. This is no another person other than the Nairobi County Women Rep, Sister Esther Pasaris. Of course, you have seen my twin sister, Jacqueline Mugo, who is the Executive Director of the Federation of Kenya Employers here. Mumemuona pia my brother, Wilson Sosion. Yeye ni katibu wa chama chetu kile kingine kinaitwa Trade Union Congress of Kenya and Kenya National Union of Teachers. But let me also take this brief opportunity to tell teachers in this country. This constitution, we fought for it. Hii katiba COTU ilipigania sana. Wengi wanasiasa walipinga, watu wengi walipinga. Na ile slot ya workers to be represented in parliament, it is the work of the Central Organization of Trade Unions. Right away from the bombers draft. Na hatuwezi kupata sosioni kuturepresent. Na walimu wengine wachache wanasema that sosioni can't do two jobs. Wale wote waanzilishi wa siasa, the most celebrated leader, Thomas Joseph Mboya, Ato Chwada, Fred Omido, the most powerful former Secretary General of COTU, the late Juma Boy, Joseph Mugala. You can name them. They were in parliament articulating issues of workers from different political parties. But now it is in the constitution, and they continue to lead the labor movement. Now, Sosioni is not only a representative of NAT. Sosioni represents the entire working fraternity in this country. Na walimu wanatumiwa na wanasiasa, na mimi namwambia nyinyi mna bahati to get somebody to be in parliament to articulate your issues and issues related to workers. Sosioni will stand with you. Kama hawaelewi, we will make them to understand. And they must always know that when all political leaders were in tension, it is workers who are fighting for the freedom of this country. I'm sorry, I forgot to recognize my own sister, Sister Amina Mohammed, Cabinet Secretary wetu wa elimu. She comes from my own county. She has helped COTU. For your information, the 5 sets of labor laws that we are enjoying, it is Sister Amina Mohammed who did go out of her way as our ambassador in Switzerland to talk to the International Labour Organization on behalf of Kenya government, workers and employers to set aside some funds to review Kenya's archaic labor laws at that particular, colonial labor laws at that particular time. Sister Amina Mohammed, simply because you are my sister, I had skipped your name. I want to thank you for that. I want also to recognize the Chief Administrative Secretary, Minister of Labor, Honorable Abdi Bahari, Kakamega Senator Cleopas Malala, and members of parliament who are here, led by our own brother Tom Odeke from Nyatike constituency, Honorable Mboko Miremba, who is also the chairman of KUPET, Honorable George Aladwa, MP for Makadara, that is the place where I grew up, Sister Catherine Wambirianga, Bungoma Women Rep, Honorable Ronald Tanui from Bomet, and also an official of KUPET, a trade union leader of very high repute in this country. Honorable Babu Owino of Embakasi. But I want to appeal, Honorable Babu Owino is a young legislator. I want to appeal to senior legislators who are here. Please, let not this young man be thrown out of parliament while you are watching. Governor of Nairobi, this is your own brother, younger brother. Do what Sakaja did. Make sure that you reach out to His Excellency the President and the rest. Even if error is human, let him be forgiven and remain in Parliament and finish his term. I want to recognize one of my brother-in-laws, and he's also a member of Parliament, Honorable Rafael Wanjala from Budalangi, Honorable Samuel Atandi, who represents my relatives in Alego, Usonga, Honorable Timothy Wetangula, Weta, who is a serious legislator. He has kept his Westland seat in Nairobi, which is not easy for some times. Honorable Chris Wamalwa from Kimilili. These are all MPs who support workers in Parliament and outside Parliament. Wanangojea sana ile sheria ya kubadilisha mambo ya Labour, mambo ya NSSF na mambo ya NHIF. Wanangojea sana, na wengine hawako hapa, hawajakuja na wanaingojea wakina Kanini Kega, wako mbali na wana watch. And the rest from Mount Kenya, from Ukambani, from Coast, they will stand with the workers. Let Dwale know that. Sister from Busia, Honorable Florence Mutua, Women Rep from Busia County. Honorable James Nyikal, his doctor, James Nyikal, MP from Seme. I always like listening to him when he's putting the case that concerns us, which is very rampant now in this country, the problem that Kenyans are facing as far as medical problems in this country are concerned. Issues related to HIV and AIDS, issues related to cancer diseases, and most of the incurable diseases. Continue representing us like that, Brother James Nyikal, in Parliament. I want also to recognize all MCAs who are here with us, honorable MCAs. I've seen so many from Western Kenya, led by MC Honorable Matera and the rest. Let me recognize the very few hard-working CEOs who are here with us. We have Geoffrey Mwangi of NHIF, Dr. Anton Omerikwa from NSSF, Chairman NHIF, Sister Anna Muridhi, Vice Chair Muso Nzili. Muso Nzili came from us, and we are soon bringing him back to assist Brother Sosion. We have Wilfred Musau, CEO NBK, I had some MPs who are not here. Honorable Misi from Sabot, they are now here, who are not on my list. Martin Owino from Nziwa, and Honorable Horace Florence, I had already mentioned, from Busia. I want also to thank the regional government led by our regional commissioner, Kangede Thuku, for making sure that there is enough security here. And if I have by bad luck omitted your name, please forgive me. Waziri, who is here and who is going to read the speech of His Excellency the President, Waziri Ukuri Yatan, this is your first Labor Day function. And let me inform you that Labor Day is an important internationally celebrated day when workers exercise and demonstrate their common interests and international solidarity. This is the day they don't forget. I do welcome you, and I want to thank you to have taken trouble or time to be with us. Ambassador Yakur, because we know whatever we want, it is you who is carrying. Sisi tuliuliza, tuliandikia mtukufu rais, na yeye pahali alipo anataka aone hii umati, aone hao watu wote ambao wako hapa, aone wingi wa watu. Hii watu wanaweza kuletwa na yeye kama president ama Raila Amolo Odinga. Na wakati napomwambia mimi ni watatu kwa hiyo line wanabishana, waje waone leo. Those of you who were born after a struggle in 1963 should know about the struggles for our independence. We should never take for granted the rights and opportunities we enjoy today, which were denied to most of our grandparents. Africa, Latin America, and Asia's freedom was fought and won by the trade union movement. Na hiyo ndio ukweli wa maneno. Those who championed for our independence were leaders like Makan Singh, Agre Minya, Fred Kubai, Bildad Kakia, Piogama Pinto, Clement Lubembe, Sam Muhanji, Gitu Kahengeri, and Maina Macharia, who are still both with us. Maina Macharia is still with us. The rest have passed on. Those who were there earlier, Chege Kibachia, Viki Wachira, Ochodo Gai, Makanyengo, Mwiruri Wakaranja, who was jailed for 8 years, as well as Tom Joseph Mboya, who eventually internationalized our struggle and fight for freedom, among others. They supplemented in the then efforts which was being made by our forefathers who led us to freedom. Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the leader of the armed revolution, Ami Dedan Kimathi, General China, Mwindi Mwana wa Mbingu, Paul Joseph Ngei, Masinde Mliro, Elijah Masinde, and so many others. And these were closely being followed by a very young person at that time, no any other person other than Raila Amolo Odinga, who is here with us. Na ndio kwa sababu mimi naambia nyinyi, huyu Raila ni mtu wa ajabu sana. Na wakati naambia watu wanafikiria mimi nacheza. Yeye pahali popote anaenda huwa anajua ni wapi anaenda na ni wapi anatoka. I always tell you like that. He is one of the terrible organizers we have in this country. And that is why Honorable Raila on Sunday in the church, and I know His Excellency the President should be watching me. If he's not watching me, let those his aides or his friends tell him that when you are with Raila Amolo Odinga, you don't need any support in Kenya. Because of what? He has suicidal supporters from Nyanza and across the country. Suicidal. Na wakati nilianza kusema hao watu wasalamiane, nyinyi mkasema kichwa yangu ni mbaya. People could not believe me. Now there is peace in the country. Our economy is on upward trend. Na waziri wewe umebeba pesa. Niseme hivyo na hujaletea hao watu pesa. During those days when they were struggling for independence, and those who played crucial, important role, and they became leaders of this country, there were leaders like our retired President Daniel Arap Moi, Mwalimu, who was himself a founder member of the Kenya National Union of Teachers, NAT, must never be forgotten. Our unit as a nation, as early as March 2017, COTU called on His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta to reach out to the opposition leader, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, with a view to arresting the heightened political temperatures. Today, I'm a happy man that has come to pass, and that is where we are today. Naambiwa Mheshimiwa Savula anaingia saa hii, unakaribishwa ujumbe wa Lugari. Our Labor Day theme this year was formulated based on the resolve that the two leaders will read, and I want them to hear it. We wrote it before your handshake. We said, let us reason together for sustainable economic growth and job security. That's what we said. The only way we can create sustainable jobs is to eradicate poverty and build a more prosperous and equal society through restructuring of our economy. We should stop over-reliance on the export of our raw materials to an economy founded on modern manufacturing, to other economies founded on modern manufacturing industries. And we must support the 4 pillars our president has already mentioned. Those are manufacturing, housing, universal health care, and food security. Those 4 pillars are close to our hearts, are close to what we want, and those will make us realize political stability and harmonious labor relations also are the bedrock on which we will achieve a robust manufacturing sector. Hii ni kusema waziri, kama hao watu hawawezi kuangaliwa, tuwe na harmonious labor relations. Harmonious labor relations means employers, government na workers tunafanya kazi pamoja. Sio kuchimbana. Sio kuambia duan kwenda badilisha sheria employment. Kama iko strikes nyingi, it is up to the government to build up its capacitance to face the unions and employers, not to come up with punitive legislations. colonial legislations. Now, Waziri, how do you amend the NSSF Act? Now I want you come out Pereka, the Ernst and Young audited report here NSSF, of which me and Jacqueline Mugo, we ordered for. Then let nobody come up with a legislation to say they want to bar FK and COTU from NSSF and NHIF. Honorable Chris, when we were away, Honorable Dege, when we were away, for only 3 months, 2 billion shillings had been taken away from NSSF. Pesa ya hawa. Na hawa watu tena wanapatiwa kazi. Wengine bado wanatembea freely. The government must support social partners. That is the Federation of Kenya Employers, FK, the Central Organization of Trade Unions, and on behalf of the government itself, the Minister of Labour, must be adequately funded. Currently, we have no labor inspectors, factory inspectors, experts on occupational health and safety in the Ministry of Labour. A lot of our young men and women, more so women, languishing, dying in the Gulf through illegal trafficking of persons perpetuated by employment bureaus, and then government supporting that instead of Duale coming up with legislation to curb rampant deaths in the Gulf. Mutaambie huyo kijana, mutaambie yeye ya kwamba tunakuja. Workers are coming. Workers, you are coming. Workers, you are coming. Workers, you are coming. Let him try it. If you have able and good relationship between employers and workers and government, this will help in minimizing strikes both within public and private sectors instead of coming up with those archaic rules. We need to reason together. Kenyans want equity and fair sharing of our national resources and jobs for all. Honorable Waziri, Ambassador, corruption is the biggest single threat to our democracy and peace. Theft, fraud, extortion, and forgery cost the country 610 billion annually, which is equivalent of a third of our state budget. We want to assist government to make sure that those run-down institutions are properly rejuvenated. Honorable Minister, COTU supports the government's move to offer free maternity care as well as universal health care cover, and second, as going children through NHIF. And we will support NHIF management to make sure that those goals are attained. Honorable Minister, I have talked about NSSF and I don't want to repeat myself on that. I have talked about our position on amendment of Employment and Labor Relations Act. I have talked to Waziri on various issues, including revamping of the Ministry of Labour and also addressing the capacity of that ministry. Waziri, I have talked about jobs in Qatar and in the Gulf. I don't want to repeat that. Waziri, there is a notion that NITA must be transferred to other ministries. NITA is our National Industrial Training Authority. Waziri, the social partners are opposed to that. Instead, Waziri, we need NITA to be supported by your ministry. Sasa nakuja kwa mambo yangu ya mwisho. Hii ni mambo ya minimum wage. The employers and various people in the government have different understanding of minimum wage. And I want to remind them that Kenya's economy grew up by 5.8% in 2017 as compared to 5.4% in 2016. Such economic improvements were supported by a strong macroeconomic environment. And great social sectoral improvements in agriculture, real estate, construction, finance, and insurance. The last revision, and I want to thank His Excellency the President, last year he gave us 18%. But I want also to remind him that some firms have not implemented the last year's minimum wage increase. Kuna kampuni nyingi ambazo hazijatekeleza nyongeza ya mshahara tangu mwaka jana. I'm appealing to you, Mr. CS, to make sure that the government implements this. Together, 2016, the President removed taxation on retirement benefits, bonus, and overtime performed for those earning less than 100,000 Kenya shillings. But to date, Honorable CS, this has not been gazetted. This shows that some people in the same government where President Uhuru is, they are not taking his directive seriously. With the above factors, Honorable Minister, these workers are appealing and are asking, and they are saying they have performed as per the figures I have put on the table. And what they are asking, Honorable Minister, and I know you have something for them, please kindly let their wages, minimum wages, be once again adjusted by the same margin as it was last year. Last year we demanded 22%. His Excellency the President awarded us 18%, which is not fully implemented. Mwisho, nataka kushukuru wewe ambassador, wewe ni waziri wetu mpya. Sisi tutafanya na wewe kazi. Lakini tukikutuma, pereka maneno vile tumesema. Don't decorate. Tumekutuma juzi na utoke kwa mambo ya amendment ya sheria. Pia nataka kushukuru nikimalizia nikienda kuketi chini mambo ya handshake. Mambo ya Raila Amolo Odinga kushika mkono wa His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta na Uhuru Kenyatta kushika mkono ya Raila Amolo Odinga. Sisi tunaunga mkono na ningeli appeal hata ile committee advisory board ile ambayo mmechagua. Sisi tu support. Mheshimiwa Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, we stand to Amos wako. We have nothing to complain about it. He's a lawyer, he's a senator. Let's support him to sit on that. Two, I have said, and in any position your workers, we don't want fights all the time. let us amend the constitution, tubadilishe katiba, tulete Bomas draft. Kitu kinaleta shida duniani ni mambo ya watu kuachwa nje. This is good for this country. Let us support the constitutional amendment. Not everybody can be a president. Ili we have a constitution that is accommodative. Juzi kwa kanisa nilisema Mheshimiwa Raila, there is no way you can dismiss people from central Kenya or from Mount Kenya from being inside the government. Na nikaambia watu, even 2022, they will be there. If we don't amend this constitution, where is Uhuru going to go and is young? Atasumbua watu wengine. We must amend the constitution to accommodate him somewhere. And on international issues, hakuna mtu anashinda wewe, Raila. Lastly, watu wa serikali wako hapa. We want to see activities going on Konza City. We want to twin Konza, Kajiado, Limuru, Machakos, Thika, Juja, Ruiru with Nairobi, so that we can decongest this city of Nairobi. We must support that. Sitaki kukaa sana, waziri anaweza rudi na pesa. Wacha nimuulize Ukuru ya TAN alete kila amebebea wafanyikazi. Na kabla hajakuja kwa ajili atakuwa anasoma hotuba wa rais, mimi nataka kuleta the doyen of Kenya's politics, the veteran politician in Kenya and in Africa,